Welcome to Let's Talk Books, Unscripted. It's pretty good. This is episode 3. This is a video series we're doing, a husband and wife who love to read, talking about books, all things books, life. It's unscripted, unedited, so what you see and what you hear, that's what you get. What are we drinking tonight?
We are having a classic margarita, nothing special. I picked up a margarita mix because we had some tequila around that we actually had quite a lot of. So we're like, oh, let's enjoy some margaritas. We did that for Cinco de Mayo, and now we're still just enjoying the mix. So you should let us know if you like margaritas as well. What kind, or if not, what might you be drinking while you are watching this video? So let us know in the comments. Yeah.
So I think we're each going to talk about 3 books. There wasn't a book that we both read this week. I know in the last 2 episodes we've talked about a book we both read. There's not been one, hopefully soon. But we each have 3 books. I have one I'm almost finishing, one I just started, and one that I'm going to start soon. My next rom-com, as you know. I love the rom-com. And this one I've been looking forward to for a while. What do you got on the docket?
I've got one that I just finished. This is for the book club that I started like a year and a half ago. So that's been really, really fun for me. It's with all local friends and family. I unfortunately did not love this book, but we are discussing it tomorrow night. This one's called The Last Resort.
This is why it's unedited. I forgot to turn the light on.
Oh,
look at that!
Quite bright.
All right, let me adjust it. I was like, why is it so dark?
Yep, sorry for the first part of it. Then.
See, this is... Oh, that's better. I didn't even have the light on.
So you can see us a little
Well, that's way better.
But yeah, this one's called The Last Resort. I had not heard of it before until somebody in my book club brought it up. And so we decided to read it. But yeah, it wasn't terrible. It just was not super thrilling for a crime thriller. So I found myself kind of bored through most of it. So that was a recent read for me.
So that's what you just finished?
Yep. If you want to.
Yeah, so I'm still working on this one. The Kindred Spirit Supper Club. I thought last episode I'd finish it, but I'm very close. I'm within 50 pages. And it's starting to get real nice. Like it's a lot of the storylines are coming together and things are getting a little weird because I'm excited to see how it finishes up. But I'm ready to be done with it. Hopefully this weekend I'll finish it up. Maybe 50 pages to go, but I'm really liking it so far. The second half has been a lot better than the first half. This is for sure a slow burn rom-com, which Katie and I have a hard time with. But I think overall it's gonna get a few stars.
So then this is one that I am currently reading. I'm not super far in yet, but this one has gotten a lot of buzz. It's called First Lie Wins. I'm doing it as a buddy read with somebody on Instagram. So this is someone I have not met before. So that's kind of fun. So yeah, talking about the one I just showed with my book club friends, and then trying out some buddy reads with just like one other person on Instagram. I normally I'm an individual reader, just because I read pretty fast and I read a lot of books. So sometimes I don't love like being like, oh, we're both gonna read this, and then I feel like I'm obligated to, stick to it and read it. But I've been excited to read this one anyway, so it was nice that the other person was like, oh yeah, that sounds like fun. So I'm excited to see where this one goes. I'm very much into it. I'm liking it more than this one already. So yeah. Do you want to talk about your next one?
Yeah. So a book that I just started, well actually Katie read it to me. She read me the first 2 chapters while we were driving, is You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose. I know we've talked a lot about her, and we both just finished Home is Where the Bodies Are. So this is one Katie has read, and I've now started it, and she recommended I read it. And I think it's going to be very thrilling. Like all of her books, she's going to grip you from the beginning.
She's the queen of twists.
The
it
queen
says it on
of
all
twists.
The fronts of her books. It's very true.
I'm going to try to figure this twist out, but I have a feeling I will not be able to.
That's what she does well.
So I'm going to start this one, obviously. reading it myself.
Yeah, I think I read the first 2 or 3 chapters.
You read me the first 2 chapters while we were driving.
Yeah.
And I was already into it, so
yeah.
I'm interested to see how this one goes.
It's told from it's a dual perspective, which is fun. So it takes turns between the female and the male main characters.
Yeah, I needed another thriller.
She calls it her Airbnb thriller. So it's like this woman finds herself. I'll set it up a little more since I know a little bit more about it. But she finds herself at this like remote Airbnb. She intentionally looked for this particular one because I think she wanted to, be off the beaten path on purpose and like have some peace and whatever. Because she came from a big city. She's a city girl, and it shows up, and she of course checked this dude out, prior to make sure like, oh, he looks cool, he checks out, whatever. He's the owner of this Airbnb. So it's an interesting premise, a thriller, because you're thinking this is a thriller, but like there's a little bit of love mixed in too. So she may or may not fall for this handsome Airbnb owner. So that's kind of the premise. It was just very different than a lot of thrillers that I've read. So yeah, I think you'll really like it.
So you shouldn't have come here.
It's got a really cool cover too. I mean, I feel like all of her covers are.
I think the title says it alone.
Then the next one I'm going to talk about, I have not started this yet, but I'm going to soon. So this is another one that I am doing a buddy read on. So I have a second person on Instagram. We're going to read this together. This is called Divine Rivals. This is another kind of buzzed about book. It's part of a duology, so there is another one that comes after this called Ruthless Vows. So I'll be excited to read the whole series, which is just 2 books, but it's a YA series. So I don't read a lot of YA, but I'm really excited for these because, I've heard mostly good things. If you're a Taylor Swift fan, so you should share that in the comments too if you are a fellow Swiftie. But it's kind of fun. A lot of people have been saying it pairs perfectly with her newest album, The Tortured Poets Apartment. So
what doesn't?
I know, right? Could pair pretty much anything with all of her songs. But the characters in this are writing letters to each other via typewriters. So I mean, come on, like Fortnite.
Who uses
vibes.
typewriters anyways?
Exactly, for sure. So yeah, I'm excited to read this with that album being so new and the songs just being stuck in my head constantly. So yeah, I do hope it lives up to the hype because I think I read a negative review about it recently. And of course, not every book is for everyone. So we'll see what I think of it. But I mean, even just by the cover alone, look at how pretty it is. The other cover of the second book is also equally pretty. So I'll be excited to tell you guys about this one. So
you haven't started yet.
I have not started it yet, but I'm going to start it soon because both of these books are buddy reads, and we are hoping to discuss them either at the end of this month or like beginning of June.
How many books are you currently reading?
Oh gosh.
If you want to share.
Too many.
I
usually lose track because I also have audiobooks. So I always have at least one audiobook going. So yeah, I actually do only have one audiobook that I just started upstairs recently before coming down here because I finished a different one, started another one, and then I have 2 that I'm actually reading on my phone because I don't have a Kindle yet. So I'm doing 2 ebooks. So let's see, that's 3. So an audiobook, 2 ebooks. This First Sly Wins. And then I think I have 2 more on the coffee table. I don't know. It's got to be 5 or 6 books, which is pretty standard.
That's actually less than I thought. That's good.
Can't help it. I do have a lot of people ask me how I do it, and typically I try to read different genres, and that's how I can kind of keep everything together. I do have a couple rom-coms going though right now, so that is a little tricky. If I have multiple rom-coms happening, but we'll see how I do. I might have to choose to focus more on one and kind of go back to the other ones. So I don't confuse any characters and storylines.
That's good. So I know everyone's waiting to hear which rom-com will I read next because that's my genre.
Rom-coms.
And I love rom-coms with a clever title, and this one is no different. It's Hedging Your Bets by Jane Denker. This is actually one that I've had on my radar for a while. And I think you bought it for me for...
Just because.
Just
I
because.
I bought it for both of us, but like he'll read it before I will.
So I'm going to start this one next.
It's perfect for springtime. I mean, look at the cover.
I love the title, and I love gardening, and this has a big gardening plot line to it between two neighbors who one likes to garden and one doesn't.
So it's an enemies to lovers.
Enemies
trope,
to lovers, neighbors, so it's
Yeah.
going to be great. It looks really adorable.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really looking forward to this one. So hopefully by next episode I can touch on how it started and what my initial thoughts are. But I can't wait. If you find a rom-com with a clever title, comment below what it is. So I'll pick it up. I mean, don't judge a book by its cover, but you can judge it by its clever title. That's the rule. My rule. So
yeah.
Stay tuned for my thoughts on this book.
I think that's all we have.
But other than that, we got the light on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I shaved off my beard. I look really different. People at work were confused today. I look 10 years younger.
But yeah, let us know what you might be reading or if any of these pique your interest.
Yeah. And we're just looking for recommendations for what to read or what to talk about on here.
Yep.
And
so we'll catch you next time.